This video is sponsored by Squarespace. One thing every wedding photographer fears is having a groom or bridezilla. But what if I told you you could steer clear of bridezillas with these 6 tips? Tip number 1 is to vet your couples. This is the most important part of my workflow, and it saves me and my couples from having issues on the wedding day. And keep that in mind as well. Vetting your couple is not just for you, it's for your couple as well. You want everyone to be happy on the wedding day, and that is the main thing you should be approaching your weddings with. I think one of the main things that a lot of wedding photographers mess up is they're too concerned about themselves. Like, oh, I don't want to deal with a bridezilla. Oh, that groom was like totally crazy. No, everyone has their own expectations. Everyone has their own hopes and dreams. This is not about you. It's about making sure that you're the right person for your couple as well. And if you approach it with less of a like, oh, they're the issue kind of mindset, you'll find that you won't run into as many bride and groomzillas. Vetting your couples can happen while you have your first initial contact with them. And if you want to learn more about client meetings, definitely check out some of my videos down below in the description. In this meeting is a time for you to meet the couple, to make sure y'all are on the same page, and to make sure they understand everything about your business and how you serve your clients. This is also the time that if you see any red flags during this meeting, that you can go ahead and tell your couple that you're not the photographer for them. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can turn away couples, it is fine, but make sure you're putting it in the right context. If I'm telling a couple that I'm not the right photographer for them, the main thing I'm telling them is that I want them to be happy on their wedding day, and it doesn't sound like I'm gonna be able to give them the results that they want. So it's less about like, oh no, and it's more just like, hey, you know what? It doesn't sound like I'm gonna serve you the way that you wanna be served, so let's find you someone else. That's a much better way to put it, and it's a better way to serve your clients because you're still serving them even if they're not booking with you. If you're running your business like this with a human-first mindset, trust me, you will get more business even if you have to turn people away. This leads right into tip number 2, which is client communication. Once you've booked your couple, you need to make sure you're in constant communication with them and that you all understand everything about what is happening. Again, I do this with Honeybook, which is my client management system of choice, but any type of client management system should do well for you. With Honeybook, I have a single thread where I can have all of my emails, and I can also do my contracts, do questionnaires, and also get paid right online. It's super easy and awesome, and if y'all want to check out Honeybook, there is a 50% off discount I have in the description below. Don't just book your couple and leave them off to the side for a whole year and barely email them. Again, with Honeybook, I make workflows so that I have touchpoint emails that go out without me having to do that myself. Having that stuff automated is a huge help. Tip number 3 comes hot off the heels of client communication, which is setting expectations. Now, this is happening throughout the whole process. When you meet with the couple, while you're communicating with them, you're always setting expectations. If your expectations are set before the wedding day, you're gonna run into less problems. Because trust me, I have maybe like 1 to 2 bridezillas I've ever dealt with in my whole 8 years of being a wedding photographer. With setting expectations, basically you're just upfront letting everyone know what it's gonna be. This way, no one has any thoughts or ideas or dreams of how it will be. It can clearly, concretely say, hey, this is how I serve you, this is what it is. A great example of that is I talk to my couples about how I edit and my color tones and the natural fills preset, which you can check out in the description below, but I talk to them about all that and how I edit. And a big part about how I edit is I keep everything natural. So what I'll say to them is that I don't do magazine edits, as I call it, or where I'm super touching up their face or anything like that. If there's a pimple that comes up the day of, obviously I'm gonna get rid of that if it's just clearly on your face like, yeah. But other than that, I'm not gonna make you lose weight. I'm not gonna touch up your skin so it's perfect. I don't do that. That's not what I do. So by telling my couples that, I'm setting the expectation. I also let them know that if you do want me to do some edits that are like that, first off, I'm not gonna do every single photo, but if there's a handful that you absolutely have to have, I charge $25 a photo for that. So now the foundation and groundwork has been laid out. If this couple's like, well, honestly, I was looking for someone to make me lose weight and have my face perfect. Well, this is where I would tell the couple, I'm not the photographer for you. And then I would help them find another photographer who could do that. And there's nothing wrong with that. Again, there's a photographer for everyone, and all of us are gonna get booked and have enough work to go around. I cannot tell you how important Setting expectations is for your couples. Most bridezillas and groomzillas that you deal with are because you did not set expectations. They thought it would be one way, but then you're like, well, why would you think that? Because no one told them. That's just what it is. You have to tell them. And one of the greatest ways to set expectations, aside from having meetings, is having it clearly on your website, which you can do with this video sponsor, Squarespace. Squarespace is an online platform to help you build your website and your web presence. You can choose one of their beautiful templates and plug in all of your portfolio and text, and you'll have a beautiful website in no time. I personally recently updated the Natural Feels preset website, and it took me about a day to get everything exactly how I wanted it to. And I don't know about you all, but being able to set up a whole website with commerce, analytics, and also member pages in just one day is pretty huge. Now, the one thing you absolutely want to do on your website is have an FAQ page. This way you can have a lot of the expectations set before your couples even get in touch with you. And with Squarespace's nice accordion feature, you can easily have your FAQ on a page, nice and condensed, and your couples can open it up and read everything there and get their expectations set. If you don't have a website yet, make sure to make it with Squarespace and check out the link in the description below for 10% off of your first domain or website. After setting expectations, we have the groundwork and foundation for our couples. We've talked with them, we set expectations, and we vetted them up front. We know we're all on the same page and everyone is going to have a great time. But sometimes stuff can still come up. And when it does, this is when tip number 4 sets in, which is don't let your feelings get hurt. As a photographer, we're artists. We feel our work and we come away from weddings and we're like, oh my goodness, this is the best thing I've ever done. Look at these beautiful photos. And then you get an email back from your couple and they're like, we don't like it. And what's gonna be your first initial thought? How? This is the best wedding I've ever shot. But you have to get away from that. You are running a business. Your art doesn't matter. And if you don't believe me, check out some of my videos in the description below where I talk about how wedding photography is not really photography. So step away from your feelings, step away from your art, become a business person, and sit down and figure out how you can fix this situation. The first time I dealt with a couple who didn't like my photos, I was in my feels the whole way, and it was the worst experience. At the time, it was the best wedding I had ever shot, and I was just like, how could they not like this? And I was totally bummed for a long time. The second time I dealt with it as a business person, and I stepped back and was like, okay, objectively, what is happening here and how can I make my couple happy? And that's what you have to do. Make sure you're not in your feels and deal with it as a business person. That's one of those time to grow up and be a full-on business person. You are no longer just a photographer. Now that you stepped away from your feelings and you're talking to your couple as a business owner, tip number 5 is to hold your ground. Now again, we've already had a foundation set. So this is less of fighting for something and more so just being like, hey, these are the expectations I laid down in our foundation. We're not changing this. There's nothing wrong with you holding your ground as a business owner. One of the biggest things that come to mind is your booking fee. A lot of times that is non-refundable, and I know over 2020, a lot of couples dealt with this, and it was a sad situation. Me personally, I did refund my couples who needed refunds fully, even back to the booking fee. However, that was something I chose as a business person. I did not have to do that because per my contract, it was non-refundable. And this is why, again, I always talk about having contracts. When you want to hold your ground and you don't have no proof, the couple basically can run you over. You want to have a contract in place so you can say, hey, you signed this thing. It says XYZ. So you're getting XYZ. I did my job. If you're not happy with it, I'm sorry, because everything you're getting is exactly what I told you you'd get. The qualities of these photos are exactly the same as the rest of my stuff. Nothing here is different. I delivered my side of the bargain. Now, again, don't be mean about it, but be a business person. Be factual and foundational. This is what it is. This is what you paid for. Boom. There it is. Facts. No feelings, no being mad at them because maybe they're just being crazy. Who knows what's happening? Don't blame it on the couple. Don't fight them, but just say, hey, this is what it is. This is what we agreed to. This is what I did. And tip number 6 is to stay calm and collected. Again, this is the hardest part, but you are a business owner. You're not a photographer. You're gonna look childish as a business, going off on your couples, trying to like go to the media and like shun each other and just all kinds of stupidness. You're a business owner. Don't do that. Talk with them as an adult, talk with them as a business owner, and just stay calm throughout the whole thing. Now, like I said, the second time I dealt with a couple who was not happy, basically what happened is they got the photos back and the bride was like, hey, now my makeup artist kind of messed up, and plus the lighting, in the photos I look like I have some dark circles under my eyes and I'm not feeling it. So I first get the email and I start freaking out a little bit, just kind of like I did when the first time, because it was almost exactly the same as the first time. And remember, like I told you, the first time I was in my feels. So here I go, almost having that same reaction. I'm like, oh God, she's doing the same thing this other bride did. Instead of doing that, I took a step back, calmed down, got back in touch with her and said, hey, I do kind of see what's going on. What can I do to help this out? I'm happy to edit some more photos for you. And it turned out that she was fine. She was more so unhappy because of the makeup artist, which, oh my goodness. The makeup artist like took forever, and they did makeup in 2 locations, but between the locations, the makeup artist got lost. So she was late, and and that's something else we have to deal with as photographers. When other vendors mess up, usually it comes back to us because the couple still feels the feelings of like, this sucked, and then they see it on the photos. So instead of being like, oh, these are beautiful photos, they go, oh, I remember this sucked. And I can see it in the photos. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, hey, what can I do for you? And I went back, lightened up the eye area a little bit, and it was fine. Now, I would not have gotten to that if I didn't stay calm and deal with it like a business owner. I could have immediately freaked out. I could have immediately blamed the couple and be like, you know what, these photos are great. I don't know what you're talking about, but I did an awesome job. My photos are great. I'm John Branch. You know, like, what do you want? Don't do that. Stay calm and in control of the situation, and everything will go fine. Trust me, I can count on one hand how many times I've dealt with bridezillas or groomzillas. One hand. And that's from shooting weddings for 8 years. And these tips I just gave you are the reason why. And if you'd love more tips to learn about wedding photography, definitely check out this playlist here, which will help you become a better wedding photographer and have amazing wedding years and deal with less problematic couples.